Assalamu alaikum. I want to just thank everyone who came out on this beautiful occasion to really support our campaign, and the organizers who pretty much has planned out this beautiful event. I really want to thank everyone. Not to mention my amazing campaign manager, my volunteer coordinator, volunteers, communications, team member, Tao, and everyone who has been a really huge part of this campaign. I really want to thank everyone. So my name is SAhra ODAWAA. I am a state Senate candidate in District 55, which consists of Shakopee, Prior Lake, Jordan, and the townships. What we have been doing thus far has been really successful. We've been out in the communities doing litter picks. We've been in the communities talking to many people about the necessary changes that are needed in District 55. I am running as a first-time candidate. I'm also running to ensure that every child has high-quality education, that everyone has accessible and affordable housing, and especially during COVID-19, we've seen the disparities and inequities in finding a home and also paying rent and facing eviction. So, in all efforts, I am running as a candidate who will actively be working with people and actively listening to the concerns and the priorities of District 55. I will fight to ensure that everyone has accessible healthcare. We really need to change the healthcare reform and all aspects of accessible healthcare, as well as reducing drug costs, finding and expanding on mental health services, which is very important. And in part of my experiences, both professionally and volunteering, I've seen so many deficits in Scott County. And at this time, I do serve, or I am serving currently as a board member for the Scott County Local Advisory Council, where we discuss about the challenges and create awareness for increased mental health services, not only in healthcare or clinical settings, but also in the education system. And in part, as being a state senator, I would really primarily focus on the needs on expanding services for individuals who are experiencing mental health illnesses, who have had loved ones caring for developmental disabilities, those that have kids who are on the autism spectrum. And in part of my experiences as a mental health and public health practitioner, that is my main focus and one of the main reasons why I decided to run. We currently have a state senator who is representing our district, Eric Pratt, who has not really been a great representation to the needs and the concerns to meet in the district, as well as not really being there for his constituents. And part of the reason why I decided to run was to create better representation, so that we could have better outcomes for generations to come. So I need your support. Being that I am a first-time candidate, we've been phone banking, we've been canvassing out in the communities. Tomorrow we'll be canvassing out in Jackson Township, which is one of the 4 townships in Scott County, which I hope to serve as your next state senator. We also need to discuss and have deep conversations in conversating with many of the community members in our district. We've been talking about the most recent civil unrest in Minneapolis and the needs that we need to really discuss about funding for creating a framework for community building, talking to many communities where we've had a growing number of East African community, as well as an Hispanic and Asian community. And so with our growing and thriving district, we really need to have these conversations where we've seen an increasing number of minority home ownership, which is a great accomplishment at this time. We also need to vow to fight for the racial inequities in increasing more educators, more teachers of color that would be representative of the students that they teach. And so many of the ongoing conversations that we've been having is really diving into reducing our class sizes, making sure that we have more ESPs in classrooms, which are educational support professionals, more mental health professionals that would consist of counselors, social workers, psychologists that would be on staff, and that would create better outcomes and successfully having our diverse group of learners from K through 12 and prioritizing their needs and just making sure that everyone has a successful learning experience to come. And so I count on each and every one of you. I'm very thankful, I'm very fortunate to have my community helping me, and the community in Scott County that have been very supportive, very just vocal about the necessary changes that are needed in Scott County, and to have a state senator that will not walk out on anyone, that will put people first before profits, and that will advocate and fight for every person's need. So this is why I'm fighting to win and to make history, to flip Senate District 55, and we've been really working on a precinct-to-precinct strategy where we've been talking to many people who have not voted since 2012 or have not had information in our database, and so really targeting certain classes of voters so that we can have people to identify as DFL leaning, or just really talking about the concerns of the District 55, and just really planning on successfully, strategically talking to people and really gathering increased votes to vote DFL this election. And it's very important that we gather each vote, and your voice matters, your voice counts, and we really need someone who will be actively listening. So thank you. You can check my website, read about my platform, email me if you have any questions, and if you'd like to volunteer, you can scan the QR code to volunteer or make a donation. So I really thank you. Thank you for coming. Any questions? Yes, I do apologize. I did forget that we have another special guest. Sitting here is Andrea Nelson, who is the candidate for House Representative District 55B. So she is here. So Andrea Nelson has really been working extremely hard, and we've been really collaborating on phone banking, just being out in the communities, going to farmers markets, talking to local farmers, and really bringing those changes and effective solutions to the district, and having the medical and mental health experiences, and myself being in the healthcare field. It makes sense to have a psychiatrist, a doctor in the House, and a mental health practitioner in the Senate to represent all communities. I thank everyone for coming out tonight. This is extremely, and I'm honored to have the support from our communities in Scott County and throughout Minnesota, and I really appreciate your time. And I also want to thank Adar Matan for coming out all the way from Atlanta, and Adar Abdurrazak being here and in support of my campaign. Without this support, I don't know the support that I would have had otherwise, but I really appreciate it. And we will not stop. This is just the beginning. We are working extremely hard to flip the Senate and to flip Senate District 55 from red to blue. Assalamu alaikum.